Hello and welcome to Dynamic DCUO. Follow me here, and in this video I want to talk a little bit about weapons. Now most anything Wind and I talk about is referring to the superpowered focus. Weapons are much more important in the weapons expert, obviously, and even more so, even also in the hybrid, where you're still using a good bit of your weapons. But mostly we run under superpowered, and with superpowered, weapons have much less of a impact. So we don't put a whole lot into doing lots of weapons. We're mostly using them just for power regen. That's about it. And what I want to point out, if you're new to the game and haven't experimented with weapons, is each weapon has its own different type of combos and moves that you do. And if you're new to the game, that can, oh, hey, I still have points and shield. If you're new to the game, that can be a little disconcerting if you're trying to experiment with different weapons and see how they do things or how they look. Each one is different. So, yeah, it's fine to experiment and such, but you may want to find it's more useful to streamline and pick one weapon above all the others and decide which one is going to be right for you. Now, I found it was really amusing that I still had points and shield because coming up, I think I went with shield because that was the first decent weapon that I picked up. And so Overzealous used that for leveling purposes. And each one has its own benefits, positives and negatives. What Wind and I have settled on is being blasters is our primary choice, and we're going to cover a little bit of why. And we're going to use a little dummy setup here in League Hall to show you. While shield is a pretty cool weapon and easy to use, that's really why I got into it early on as I was leveling up, because all the combos are pretty much tap and then hold. So it is a nice simple weapon, and it's just not real effective for doing rapid damage to world objects that you want to destroy. And that's really the main use that Wind and I have out of weapons. And as I was showing you, it does hit multiple targets. With a pistol, you can one-shot and you can hit a single target, but that's only so effective. You do have the advantage of the multi-stream that you can just keep on firing as long as you hold your hand over the button. You're still shooting, but you're hitting multiple targets, kind of a spray and pray style. What we like about blasters is that you can do a group shot and do some things like that if you want to, but our main use of it is the beam. And Wind only has the beam loaded. He doesn't have any of the other options available on his blasters. Whereas I do like my solar flame and my fist slam. But the pulse beam is the big thing for it, and it's a pretty easy combo to do and does pretty good damage to real world items, and we found it more useful than even pistols in that. So let's take a look.
So go first with your blasters. And then come over here and do this one. Yeah, I mean, it definitely takes longer with guns.
While blasters are our clear favorite for weapon of choice, mostly, as we mentioned, for use against real-world objects or game-world objects, it still always comes down to you and what you like. So hope you enjoyed this segment, and if you did, please hit like and subscribe. See you next time, and happy gaming.